Just one thing
Sharp.
that I would like to say. Just one thing
Going down.
that I would like to say.
This is the Black Information Network Daily Podcast, and I am your host, Ramses Ja. And sometimes the amount of stories that make their way to us means that we simply can't cover everything that comes our way. But from time to time, a story just stays with me, and I feel compelled to share it with you and give you my thoughts. And now, one more thing. Okay, so today I would like to talk to you about Stop Asian Hate. You may remember the hashtag. For a while, every fourth or fifth article that made its way to our national consciousness had to do with an Asian person being attacked somewhere in the United States. And this was something that we were particularly sensitive to in my world because of the fact that we, at that time especially, were trying to sear another mantra into the country's consciousness. And we believed that there might have been some synergies behind the two movements. So Stop Asian Hate. I feel like I need to share with you that on my show, Civic Cypher, we paid very close attention to these targeted attacks on Asian people, often older Asian people, and many times these were older Asian women. And we recognized that a lot of these attacks took place on the East Coast, not all of them. A lot of these attacks took place by Black people, not all of them. And this was difficult for us to reconcile on our radio show. So why are we talking about it today? Well, an article recently came out, authored by the good folks at CNN, discussing an individual who was recently sentenced for his attack. You may have seen the video. If not, I don't recommend it. It's brutal and disgusting, but I will explain it to you so you can follow the story. Video is a Black man punching a 67-year-old Asian woman. She's a complete stranger, by the way. He's punching her over 100 times. She falls to the ground after the first punch. And he's stomping on her and spitting on her and calling her an Asian B word. And this man was recently sentenced to 17 years in prison. And there's some extra things that come after that as well. I normally mention his name, but it's not necessary. And I don't want to give anybody who behaves that way any sort of attention. So I remember seeing that video when it came out and, hosting a social justice program like Civic Cypher, where I'm trying to create dialogue between Black people and non-Black people so that we can create better allies. And recognizing that our Asian brothers and sisters were under attack as well. I felt like the right thing to do was to highlight these stories and speak out against them. And so again, this story made its way to me. This video made its way to me. And now I'm dealing with a Black person, or rather a series of Black people attacking Asian people, the Black people I'm trying to protect, and they're attacking the Asian people who I feel also need to be represented in this forum. We Black people in this country, we have a voice. We can move the needle more than a much smaller group like Asian folks can. And in our time of need in 2020, when I was out protesting with my children, I remember seeing Asian people out there standing with us, marching for Black lives. So far be it from me to abandon them in their time of need. And I think that's the main reason why I wanted to bring this up. I want us to remember exactly what we asked for from white folks, from everyone. And I want us to also be willing to put that energy in, to keep that energy when people need us as well. If we're asking white people to speak out against racism in their circles, I think that we also need to speak out against racism in our circles. I don't believe this man that was stomping this old lady out in front of her apartment door. I don't think he just woke up one day and decided to, be prejudiced against Asian people. He probably has harbored some sentiments for a while. He's probably expressed them in different social circles, and they probably haven't been challenged. And what I'm proposing on this stage is that we become mindful of what we hear in our often enough Black circles, and we establish the energy that we want other people to have, and we keep the energy that other people show us, so that we can all move forward together. It's only fair. It's only right. And you may listen to this episode and think, of course I do that. And that's good. But I also want you to challenge yourself to find out ways that you can do more. I would never allow anything crazy. Often my circles and the people that get close enough to me, they already know not to try it over here. But as I mentioned, I have a stage, I have a platform, and I chose to share it, to highlight our Asian brothers and sisters. And maybe in your travels, in your path, in your life, there's ways that you can do things like this as well. Maybe for Asian people, maybe for other people. Maybe you can do more for Black people. Who knows? But again, this is not the time for us to allow any funny business. We're doing serious work here. And I'm glad that at least one more racist person is off of the street, Black or otherwise. As always, I open the floor to your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. You can reach out to me. I'm at Ramses Ja on all social media. And of course, you can use the red microphone talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app. Let's talk about it and let's move forward together. All right. And until next time, peace. This has been a production of the Black Information Network. Today's show is produced by Chris Thompson. Have some thoughts you'd like to share? Use the red microphone talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app. While you're there, be sure to hit subscribe and download all of our episodes. I am your host, Ramses Ja on all social media. Join us tomorrow as we share our news with our voice from our perspective, right here on the Black Information Network Daily Podcast.